Lesbianism is a spirit. Spirit. That's why at early ages, a lot of girls with that spirit, they do things behind the backs of mom and dad, unbeknownst to the parents. Sexual things with other girls. They've never been exposed to pornography. Where is it coming from? It's a spirit. They've never watched. The eye gates were not exposed to any type of movie, TV show with lesbian suggestive content, sexually suggestive lesbian content. It's a spirit. How do they know what lesbianism is? It's a spirit. That's part of it, of the pattern recognition. Some are born with that curse in the blood. That's why they're doing sexually suggestive things behind the backs of the parents. As far as predatory behaviors go. Why are they, again, why is this 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old house of clay, a 12-year-old brain exhibiting predatory behaviors? You have to be led by the Spirit. It has to, I'm saying it has to manifest in the spirit realm before it manifests in the physical, natural realm. You have to be led by the Spirit. If these things are just avatars, four-dimensional plane of existence itself is just an avatar. One's shadow, or just one's reflection in the mirror. The origin of the reflection, if the origin of the reflection, the origin of one's own shadow is the second major simulation. Spirit realm, or the supernatural plane of existence. I've alluded to this before with the homosexual side of the coin. As far as pattern recognition overall of the ABCs, or the ABC group. A lot of practicing lesbians, actuality, know full well they were born heterosexual. I've seen it. If you want to counterfeit me and try to deflect me, write it off as bisexual. Okay. Okay. Alright, fine. They're not bisexual. They're heterosexual women practicing lesbianism. And this really, really upsets me because I understand why. This is very disappointing. A lot of it has to do with genuine error. Genuine error that was made in one's own introverted analysis overall of things, estimation of things, deductive reasoning, critical thinking, okay? Legitimate errors were made. Deductive reasoning, critical thinking, overall introverted analysis. Some point in her life, or multiple points in her life, or maybe a specific traumatic experience sparked change none of us can believe in. As far as the soft checkmates go, Satan's kingdom and his own game theorem. As far as various ways he can manipulate the times. Via who, what, where, when, why. People, places, things, events, circumstances. Soft checkmates. Because Romans 10:9 trumps everything. Okay. Legitimate, genuine errors were made in her calculus. In a nutshell, that boiled down to basically, in context with a grain of salt, overly fickle society of the Western world. Her outer appearance, image, in her own mind or in the back of her own mind, or in her heart, falsely presuming, haphazardly drawing conclusions in her spirit. fault because her image, her outer appearance is counterintuitive or unorthodox or highly unorthodox. Runs contrary to the status quo of images recycled, regurgitated of the TV screen, big screen, magazine, computer screen. Double for the manufactured programming and overall indoctrination of the adult industry. Industry where? Second world, third world, first world. What is this? What is this first world built upon? What is the rock? Capitalism. What is the number one goal above any other in a capitalist society? Fiat. Fiat. Even the adult industry does not care for realistic, overall realistic, practical representations, images of women in the multitude, okay? The massive variance of possible images of women available. In the index of like around around 2.6, 2.7 billion possible images available. I'm subtracting for like minors and elders. I'm subtracting. Very cliche. Okay, because I alluded to industry, I alluded to capitalist society, I alluded to bottom lines overall, tree bark in a forest, okay, some tree bark, okay, wood, okay, that's the overall bottom line, trees in the forest. It doesn't matter the variance, okay, if it is lumber, notebook paper, fiat, the variant doesn't matter, okay? It's the pursuit of tree bark on its face value, okay? That's what it is, tree bark. Okay? Profit. So that's how, so understanding those three pillars is how we get to the fourth pillar. There's no interest beyond a cliche, a very well manufactured, orchestrated, premeditated illustrations or examples of the female genome. There's no regard for I have to go here. There's no regard for the overall index of 2.6 billion. Just a very small cliche, a very impractical, unrealistic, fabricated, manufactured cliche of all the different shapes and sizes of outer appearances. What the female genome looks like. This cliche presented on TV screen, magazine, big screen, computer screen, in solving for why, one's own inner world, inner sanctum, the corridors of one's own mind, odds of probability, things were deduced. Well, my image, my outer appearance does not look like the image and outer appearance of magazine, TV screen, big screen, computer screen. Odds of probability, if I don't want to live alone and be single for the rest of my life, I need someone to talk to. I'm only human. Odds of probability, well, surely if I claim lesbian, surely my sister will understand. These pigs, these dogs, won't understand where I'm coming from. All they care about is breastplates and buttocks. They will never understand. This is not mockery. I'm not mocking any of my sisters. I'm not standing over any of my sisters. I'm not mocking anyone. Okay? I'm giving you her inner dialogue. Very innocent, very impressionable, very naive. In a man's world, okay, I'm giving you first person from her perspective. First person, inner dialogue. This has nothing to do with IQ. This is poker. This is just a solid understanding the mechanics of poker. Understanding your opponent at the table. Because you do this all the time. You have to discern other people's thought patterns all the time in a cash game or a tournament in order to take their chips away from them. Habitually take their chips away from them. All right. My brother won't understand. They're sex crazed maniacs. All they think about is one thing. That's why they're addicted to porn. How can I explain any of this to my brothers? How can I explain the way I feel to my dad? They will only chastise me or reprimand me for having these thoughts and feelings. I just don't want to be alone. What's the big deal? Boys don't talk to me anyway. I just don't want to be alone. I'm only human. In the corridors of her mind, yes, she can discern. Yes, her brother looks at porn, is hypnotized by porn. She can't discern how deep fallout. Overall, from his predictive programming to pornography. That's the carnal counterfeit answer. Opposite side of the coin, spiritual revelation. Being yoked, a slave, under the power of pornography. And then I'm not sure if she can discern how evil and self-destructive, how evil pornography. I don't know. I can't see that. I don't know. But she can discern he's hypnotized, or her brother enjoys pornography as extracurricular. But I don't know. She can discern what a slave under the power of pornography. Average John Doe really is. Which takes us right back to the top of the utterance. Falsely drawing conclusions, false presumptions. In her own introverted analysis, deductive reasoning, critical thinking. When she explores the things of Satan's kingdom pertaining to TV screen, magazine, big screen, computer screen, and lines up in her own introverted analysis all of those images, outer appearances that are perpetrated, glorified, illustrated unto her. Searching for her own image. Searching for an example of her silhouette, her outer appearance, her own image. Searching for her own image. To no avail. TV screen, magazine, big screen, computer screen. Social media. Female Pied Pipers, charlatans that lead their following, their cult followings, to nowhere but condemnation. Lead their ministries nowhere. But condemnation. Self-destruction. So-called models. In those cult organizations. Cult-like organizations. She doesn't see her own image. and deduces things down to, well, as far as my implied odds, my best chance is if I claim lesbianism. Surely my own sister will understand where I'm coming from. In a man's world, surely we are equal in women's intuition. We are equal in emotional intelligence, self-awareness, self-understanding. Surely I cannot explain any of this to my brothers who are not equal to me in emotional intelligence, self-awareness, self-understanding. How can they understand where I am coming from? At the top of the utterance, I left out, I've seen the animations. These lesbians, same animations as practicing heterosexual women. Same animations. Nostalgia, euphoria, a soft lust, or a pronounced, more significant lust. I know all the markers. I know all the tells to look for. Breathing patterns, eye movement patterns, pupil dilation, perspiration, nervousness in the members, shakiness in the vocal cords, nervousness in the hands as they exit the restaurant, nervousness in the ligaments, the body language, almost like they're walking on spaghetti legs. Lesbian my ass. You ain't no lesbian. Something else going on. How are you attracted to the opposite sex? Something else going on. You were born this way. How are you attracted to me or anyone else? You were born that way. No. That's why you don't. That's why you don't pay attention to a person's native tongue. You pay attention to everything else in forward motion, both micro and major sequence of events. You let go of the native tongue. The Bible tells us the tongue is traitorous. Who can tame it? You let go of the tongue and you laser beam everything else in forward motion. Emotional intelligence. Everything in motion. External, internal, okay? The external material world and the inner world, okay? Both sequence of events, everything in forward motion externally, that were a direct result from everything, from the total sum of sequence of events that initially took place internally, where we get external manifestations, okay? Where we get external mechanics from, body language, demeanor, gestures, postures, micro expressions, non-cognitive behaviors or reactionary behaviors, okay? Where's the attraction coming from? You were born this way. Don't gaslight me, baby. No, no, no. Don't do me. No, no, no. No, no, no. A part of our sisters practicing lesbianism is that wicked, evil pornography. She can discern average John Doe has viewed pornography before. She doesn't understand the fallout, just how bad it is for a typical John Doe to be a slave under its power. Maybe she does. Incorrect. Excuse me. Maybe she does. Maybe inadvertently I just undermined a lot of women and women's intuition. Maybe I just did inadvertently. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Such a beautiful sky too. Such a beautiful sky. No chemtrails. Look like two fighter jets. Anyway. Maybe she can. Maybe she can. And maybe she... When she goes over her hand history, the total sum of events in the material external world, total sum of events, everything in forward motion pertaining to opposite sex in middle school, grade school, high school, and or college. And she analyzes the kinds of images, outer appearances the boys went for or conversed with. And then deducing things down to I don't like doing this at all because it's incorrect. It's not true. It's not true. It's not. It's not true, but only for illustrative purposes for the male brain. Even though it's not true, it's not true. If you understand mind control and brainwashing and how indoctrination systems work, it's not true. But in the back of her mind, deducing things down to her contrary, okay? her contrary image next to the other images of the girls in her classroom, okay, her peers, or her counterintuitive image when placed up against the other images of the other girls who were talked to by the boys. Even though I'm continually telling you it's not true. That may have been her disposition. That may have been her subjective, her ill conclusions drawn. But I'm telling you, as matter of fact, not Perry's opinion, not Perry's subjective, not because I feel sorry, not because I'm trying to butter. I'm telling you, as a matter of fact, it's not true. It's not true. It's not true. I'm not taking sides. It's just a cold calculus. It's not true. These connotations, contrary, counterintuitive, within a female index of 3-point-something billion total images and silhouettes available, how can one not gravitate and come into agreement with in one's own spirit the massive variance that follows? How can you not come into agreement that within an index or a pool of 3-point-something billion total women available, there's gonna that index is gonna come with massive variance as far as genetic predispositions go, outer appearance go. These connotations aren't true. Counterintuitive, contrary, unorthodox. It's not true. It's not true. As far as mind control and brainwashing goes, with indoctrination systems overall as a whole, pattern recognition, and she studied and she studied and studied and she observed middle school, grade school, high school, and or college. She studied and studied and observed the outer appearances that were patroned by the opposite sex, and how appearance does not share likeness with theirs. It does not mirror. But I guess no one told her it wasn't supposed to mirror. It's not supposed to mirror. It's your outer appearance. It's yours. You're trying to compare apples to oranges, but the index you exist in is over 3 billion. It's not supposed to mirror. It's your outer appearance. It's your genetics. It's not supposed to mirror theirs. Chevy is not supposed to mirror Ford. Ferrari is not supposed to mirror Bentley, etc. A Harley Davidson is not supposed to mirror whatever, a Kawasaki. A tricycle is not supposed to mirror a bicycle. A skateboard is not supposed to mirror a bicycle. No, it's not. A skateboard is a skateboard. Bicycle is a bicycle. An airplane not supposed to mirror a fighter jet. It's not the same. It's not the same. An airplane is an airplane. A fighter jet is a fighter jet. It's not the same. They're not supposed to look alike. They're totally different beasts. They're totally different systems. They're not supposed to look alike. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not supposed to mirror each other. If they were born that way, how are you attracted to the opposite sex? Another immaculate catch-22. I'm out of time. All praise unto the Most High Abba Yah, His Son Jesus, the Christ of Nazareth, Yeshua HaMashiach. Shalom.